Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So let's look at some slightly more complicated things. Basically, when we're doing factorization, there's three things: trinomials, which we've yet to look at, common factors, which we've already looked at, and difference of two squares, which we're looking at now. So if you're asked to factorize something, it's got to have one or two, and very rarely ever three of those things together. So always think, first of all, common factors. That's the first in a sort of a flow chart. Then it's the difference of two squares, and then it's trinomials. And one of the clues is trinomials would always have x squared plus 2x plus. It has three terms because it's tri. So if it's got two terms and it's not a difference of two squares, it must be a common factor, and there may be a difference of two squares hiding under it. So let's take our first example. You see here that that's not a difference of two squares. It does have a common factor. If I take the common factor out, I get 2 times x squared take 1. And you will spot immediately, hopefully, that that's the same as 2 times x squared take away 1 squared. So we have got ourselves, oops, it's disappeared, come back. We've got ourselves a common factor and a difference of two squares together. So let's deal with, keep the common factor there, don't put it away for later, leave it there at each stage. Now I've got x plus 1 times x take 1. So there we have a difference of two squares and a common factor together. That brings us to proper exam level difference of two squares stuff. And I don't know how to use this machine clearly. So again, not a difference of two squares, there is a common factor. That means I've got g squared take away 4. I must know that g squared take away 4 as the difference of two squares looks like that. That gives me g plus 2 times g take 2. Let's see if I can go to the other example without sending them flying up. Been good? Yay, I did it. In most of the examples I've looked at, I've always had the letter as the first term. The letter could be the second term, it could be two letters. Here, common factor is 7 times 1 take away f squared. That's 7 times 1 squared take away f squared. That is 7 times 1 plus f times 1 take f. I'm going to leave the common factors at that just now. The difference of two squares makes the common factors. Any problems, let me know. But that should tool us up to look at all types of difference of two squares questions from now on.